Welcome to the Healthy, Wealthy, and Smart podcast. Each week, we interview the best and brightest in physical therapy, wellness, and entrepreneurship. We give you cutting-edge information you need to live your best life, healthy, wealthy, and smart. The information in this podcast is for entertainment purposes only and should not be used as personalized medical advice. And now, here's your host, Dr. Karen Litzy.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by the fine folks over at Net Health. Net Health are the proprietors of Redoc powered by XFit, which is a cloud-based, fully integrated EMR and billing solution. So if you are a private practice owner and you are looking to expand visit capacity, improve your workflow efficiency, get paid for your services, ramp up patient engagement, and eliminate worries about documentation, you have found the place. Redoc powered by XFit is all-in-one, all-encompassing. So if you want to learn more about Redoc and the complete revenue cycle management services, check them out at nethealth.com/healthy. Again, that's nethealth.com/healthy. So big thanks to Net Health. Now, on to today's episode. Before we start, I want to say a huge congratulations to Dr. Jenna Kantor. She has passed the MPTE. She is now a fully licensed physical therapist, and everyone here at Healthy, Wealthy, and Smart is so excited and proud of her. So a big, huge congratulations to Jenna. And today's episode, Jenna is interviewing two wonderful people. This was also an interview that was recorded at SSPT Live, which is Smart Successful PTs Live, a couple of months ago in Florida. And on this episode, she interviews Alex Engar and Will Boyd. They are the creators of Healthy Funnel. They help many physical therapists with their social media marketing, Facebook ads, all that fun stuff, ClickFunnels. And they're just two wonderful, great people. So I hope you enjoy this episode. It's all about how they came together. They're both physical therapists, how they came together online, kind of like dating online, but instead they dated and found their business partners. So good for them. And a big thanks to Jenna for another great episode.
Hello, this is Jenna Kantor. I am super excited. I am at Smart Success PT Live in 2018 here with Will Boyd and Alex Engar. They are the founders of Healthy Funnel, this amazing online business where they really help people's private businesses go to the next level. And I actually don't want to focus on their business so much because it's actually the way they met and created the business is actually so inspirational. All right. So the topic here is creating a partnership online. That's right. Online. These two guys. You know what? I'm going to cut myself off. Let's bring it to you guys. So please tell the story of how you two met.
Man, I got to keep up this energy level. There's like this pressure here. I can do it. I got this. You guys, Will and I didn't even know each other until yesterday. Okay. So legitimately, Will and I have been working together for about a year now and have known each other for like a year and a half. The instant I saw Will, I was like, oh, dang. Like, we're going to be best friends. Like, I saw him on a Zoom call. So I saw him on a Zoom call. Oh. He came on our podcast, and then I went on his. It's just like, I really wish I could spend more time with this guy. I think that we'd be really good friends. And I was right. Like, he's just come on, this man is incredible. And so I just knew instantly, like, this is a business match made in heaven. I didn't know it was a business match made in heaven, but we figured that out.
Yeah, I think it's crazy in that we had known each other for a year and a half online, but we had not met in person physically until yesterday. Yeah. And so almost a year and a half later. But I think what it speaks to, I think, is the power of the internet and the ability to trust people through, video conferencing. I felt like we knew each other. And I felt like you and I knew each other the first time that you came on to the podcast that I host.
Yeah.
And I was like, man. And then when I met you in real life, it
was great.
It was like, it's Jenna.
Yeah,
Jenna.
A couple hours just passed. I should go eat dinner right now. Yep. Yeah, it's really cool. You're right. I did experience kind of similar. It didn't turn into an amazing business that just everybody drools over because all the information they give is freaking candy. So I already got the first impression. So were you in search of a partnership necessarily when you met?
I don't think so. I think we were both just in the same mind frame of not super happy with our current situation, or maybe the prospects in the future, and knowing that we had to do something different to create what we wanted. And ultimately, I think like any good partnership, we just started talking about our ideas and realizing that we had very synchronous ways of looking at the world and looking at our passions, and started just trading like gold nuggets, right? So those people that you're just like, oh, they know so much, I want to talk to them, and they want to talk to me, like, ooh, that made a good partnership. And so just from very early on, it was like, man, this Will guy's really smart. And so for some reason he kept talking to me, and I was like, man, I just got to keep talking, like do whatever I can to just keep talking with him. And that's what turned into like, okay, now, we could make this a business partnership because it's so mutually beneficial.
Yeah. And I've been trying to think of like how Alex and I first really collaborating, and it's so cool that we're talking about it on a podcast because it was podcasting. And I think it was Alex had a question about monetizing a podcast. If I remember right. It could have been something before that, but that's what I sort of first remember was us reaching out, and we were trying to figure out for our podcast at the time. And, that got us back and forth, and we both were interested in leveraging the internet to figure out how to essentially create a side hustle that we didn't have to work full-time as physical therapists, which is kind of rare, as we hadn't even graduated. We were still students, but we already knew then that like we just didn't want to be full-time tied to a full-time job in a clinic, which is obviously, it's great for a lot of people. We just kind of knew early on that there was something about it that we wanted something else. We wanted some freedom. So it's crazy that it started this way through podcasting. It's so awesome we're full circle on a podcast talking about it.
I love that. As you were talking about it, I was thinking of the song, There's Gotta Be Something Better Than This. There's gotta be something. And you guys are literally exploring that together naturally.
Yeah.
It wasn't pushed. That's incredible. So how did you get to the idea of healthcare digital marketing?
Ooh, do you want to start?
Yeah. I mean, I think so it started really organically. We had met in a group with a common mentor, someone who's guided us, Greg Todd, and we kind of met through his course. And we found that in this course, there's a Facebook group, and people would ask questions about technical things like, hey, I can't figure this out about my website, or I can't figure this out about Facebook or something.
Yeah.
And we would just be the ones who were usually answering the questions. And at some point it turned into, that struck up a conversation with us, because we were just sort of like, hey, I noticed you're helping a lot of people. I truly don't remember exactly how it came about that way, but I know we started talking about it. And then it turned out Alex was taking a course on how to make online courses. I was taking an online course about how to run Facebook ads for local businesses. And then it was just like it was literally like just the meeting of the minds of dumb minds at the time. We were like, hey, man, it was also new, right? Like you start somewhere, and we were just like, oh. And Alex was like, you can do this with a course. And I was like, whoa. You know, like you can do this with Facebook ads. And we were both just like, whoa. And it turned out people were seeking more and more help, and we were waiting for. I can tell you the story of why we started Facebook. Tell the story of why we started a Facebook group, which is kind of what was the first real collaboration.
Yeah, I think it all stems from looking at what questions people kept asking us. And we talked about that today here at SSPT Live. That the best, especially online businesses, stem from obviously solving a need, but it's what questions do people come to you for? What questions can you answer on a regular basis? And so Will and I could answer some digital marketing questions in healthcare because we've both been advertising in healthcare to some degree. And we weren't necessarily, and we wouldn't have considered ourselves, we weren't experts. I mean, we had just learned some of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I think the fact that we realized, other people could benefit from the information, and other people are asking us these questions, we might as well start a group where, hey, we could just start collaborating with other people on this. And we took our friendship and decided, gosh, we work so well together back and forth because just how we think the same. Why don't we just start sharing these ideas in a group? And it was pretty instantly apparent that people were going to want to learn about how to actually accomplish digital marketing, right, within healthcare. It was like, how do I set up my Facebook page? How do I set up an ad? How do I do this on Instagram? okay, like we can talk about that all day long.
Yeah.
Apparently people want to know, so we kept talking about it.
Yeah, I think an important thing is we'd both been trying these things that we've been learning on private clients we were working with. First, for me, it was a friend's mom who had a massage clinic, and she needed help getting business. And I was like, okay, well, let's do that. And I'd been doing podcast editing, as a business, which I didn't think was possible. And then Alex had clients he was doing, running video editing, running ads for CrossFit gyms at the time. And I was like, well, we're kind of in weird places, but we have all these people in healthcare who could probably benefit from this. And it was sort of like, why don't we put our brains together? Because Alex is really good at video editing and online courses. I'd known a lot about Facebook advertising and email marketing kind of stuff and podcast editing. And it was like, well, we both have these different skills. If we teach each other, kind of team up, that maybe something good could come out of it. And now we're here. It's kind of just wild.
So do you hold meetings? Like, how do you guys make it work?
Mm-hmm.
How often? I want to know. I want to know your schedule.
I mean, we don't have a schedule by any means of like, oh, this day we meet, but we hold meetings all the time through Zoom. Like that, where we talk all the time through Zoom, through Facebook Messenger. And the interesting thing is, like Will was saying, you can get to know someone through video messaging so easily. It's the exact same as if we were in person now. I mean, it doesn't feel really, other than like feeling his awesome aura. It's the same. Communication happens so easily online now, if you let it.
Yeah.
That all of our meetings end up just kind of organically as we're talking, and oh, we should talk about this. Great, let's hop on a call. And some of the most beneficial meetings have just kind of spurred out of conversations that turn into really long conversations where we just accomplish a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. We should, and not to take up time, but we, just for reference, Alex lives in Utah. I live in Pittsburgh. So it's just not super convenient for us to meet in person too often. You know, I don't think there are direct flights from Pittsburgh to Salt Lake.
You haven't looked? That's crazy. You haven't looked.
So, we just
I got
here.
Zoom.
We've got Zoom, and Alex has kids and family, and I have a life too in Pittsburgh that is less crazy. You've got real responsibilities. But we, there's a lot of, I guess something we haven't really talked about before is there's a lot of faith and trust that goes into knowing someone. Yeah. We've swapped social security numbers, credit card numbers before we ever met in person, right? Like there's some things that are inherently, I think it doesn't matter online, that as long as you spend time and you trust your intuition and gut and build a relationship, like it wasn't the second time we talked to each other.
No,
it was like, let's start a business and here's my credit card. What's your social? You know?
Yeah.
It was like we'd been talking for a long time. We had been in the same circles. People who'd met Alex, I had met, and we'd talked before and got a real sense of who someone was. So it wasn't jump right into a marriage kind of thing. It was like we knew each other without meeting in person. And it's really real. And I was thinking about today. So, our mentor, Greg, works with a virtual assistant based out of the Philippines.
Oh, yeah.
Who he has not met in person. And she has done so much. And we personally know her. She is amazing.
We know she's been amazing. Yeah.
And I'm sure he has to send tax documentation to her. Still never met in person. And it's amazing though that you can still find trust in people through this medium, even though it's digital, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's a very good point. So who is in charge of what? I have to say, I've always wondered this.
Me too.
Because
that's true, yeah.
or is it?
It's not us.
It's because sometimes I see more of you in the videos, but I know there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that goes on too. So I was just wondering, like, do you have that set, or you kind of just been able to just kind of do things, and things have just been kind of evolving naturally still?
Yeah, I think that definitely the latter there. Things have been evolving naturally, and I think they'll continue to. From very early on, we never set, you do this, you do this, you do this. I mean, it's always been fairly fluid, and we've been fairly flexible in terms of who's doing what. I think both of us know how to run every aspect of our business. And so, I mean, I was on vacation for a week and a half last week with my family and had just maybe a little bit of time each day, and Will kind of ran the entire business. And it's like
both ways before,
yeah. And it's
That's
like,
right.
there's nothing that I do that Will can't do. And there's a lot that Will does that I can't do.
No.
So when
there's some technical things that each of us are better at.
For sure.
Like and just we should say more experience. Like video editing, like for hands down, if it's important with a client, like Alex gets final say. Like there's no like he just knows how to do it a lot better. He's done it a lot more. There's certain things that
Will's our chatbot expert.
There's just certain details, and we naturally have interests in things that you're like, cool. Well, I just spend a little more time on something, or Alex spends a little more time in a different aspect. But I think what's really important is that it's not sunshine and rainbows either. We're new business owners. We weren't trained to run a business. Last time I checked, most PT schools aren't like, here's exactly how to run a business. Especially one where you meet someone across the country and you haven't met and you're learning these things. And so, honestly, part of the problem that we faced is we both knew how to do it. Right. And so how do you
who does what?
How do you keep growing? Who does
Yeah.
what? How do you keep growing? And to build businesses, you have to have systems. And so, truth be told, Alex and I ran into a wall where we're like, what do you mean if we had to take on 3 more people tomorrow? Like, we just don't have the time because we're doing
able to do that. Yeah.
Right. And so we kind of had to take a step back and think, it's currently what we're in the process of, like, how do we make it so there's no wall, or at least the wall's a lot further away, and so we can continue to grow, because we're new at it. We're not great at it, and a lot of what we try to coach people on is like, it doesn't have to be perfect at first to figure it out.
Right.
To start.
Right.
Yeah.
You definitely guys bring a wonderful element of fearlessness to jumping into something that might be unfamiliar to a lot of us healthcare providers. So you guys really are extremely helpful with that. And I think the fact that you guys come from we have the PT background too. This is just coming from our own individual passions. I think that helps people relate with you and also trust you more, I think, because you're on the same level, even though they know they can get information from you. There's never an ego at all about any of it.
And on that note, we're going to take a quick break to hear from our sponsor.
PTs, what do you hope to accomplish in 2018? I bet providing even better patient care and increasing revenue are top on the list. First, expand your visit capacity. Then get paid for your services, ramp up patient engagement, and eliminate worries about documentation and compliance. The good news is there's one solution that brings it all to the table. ReDoc, powered by XFit, is a cloud-based, fully integrated EMR and billing solution. Imagine PT billing, coding, compliance experts taking the back office work off your hands and reporting to you. Learn more about ReDoc and complete revenue cycle management services at nethealth.com/healthy.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And I think that's, that initially was one of the things that I saw in Will, just this humility from someone who was so this man has such a great presence.
Oh, yeah.
And he knows so much, and he's such a deep thinker, yet he will never, ever put the spotlight on himself, nor try to take command of a situation. And he's just so freaking humble and awesome. And I was like, dang, I could work with that. But I think that has played really strongly into how we've presented ourselves online. Will's calm demeanor and you know what, it's going to be okay. And
balance out by the hype,
and we're just going to and maybe that's our role, right? Will is very grounded, and Will is very let's think things through, and let's just help people.
And what is Alex?
Yeah, it's and Alex says all those things, and I think what's great is it's totally a reflection. Alex is the same way. He brings a lot more energy. But I think people mistake that for maybe wanting attention, and I think
they don't.
His attention is for wanting to help other people grow, and I think that's the key thing. Is we've had, we've had many opportunities to take on projects that maybe could have paid much higher in the moment, or been more, publicity or something, and we genuinely, it's incredible to have a partner where you can stop and say okay, yes, this looks great on paper. Is it something that aligns with what we're trying to do? And we've said no to a lot of things.
Yeah.
We've said no to a lot of people who have had, things that could have made a financial difference in our lives in the moment, but just didn't make sense. And so having someone like Alex who has a similar vision and a passion, and thinks long-term, is huge. We've been really lucky that and I don't think it's luck. We talked about it for a long time. You know, it could have been, we could have easily said no to not work with each other, but we did have all those things in alignment, and we're playing the long game. Like we know that the more that we do it, it's going to be great. And I'd rather mess up. I think we both have agreed. We'd both rather mess up shooting for the long game and helping more people versus trying to just capitalize on everything that you can in the moment.
So at this point right now, SSPT Live 2018, how would you say your business has worked out so far?
Oh man, I mean, it's been so imperfect. I think that, I mean, Will and I, our big thing is like imperfect action, right? And so our business is imperfect. And I think that people who see it from the outside think, man, they've had like this ascension and now they have this group and it's like, wow, it's amazing. And it's like, well, sure, I think that how we've been able to help people has been amazing, but the structure behind it isn't perfect.
Yeah.
The structure that sometimes we feel like doesn't exist at all. Like we're learning. And I think that you have to be okay with learning. You have to be okay with the fact that it's not going to be perfect the first time, or probably the second time or the third time or the fourth.
I'm laughing because the number one question I've gotten this weekend has been, what is it that you guys really do? And so like we probably should get clear, you know, there's some things we got to work out.
Yeah.
Like when someone's like, you guys are awesome. What do you guys do? And you're like, well, that's a good question, but like it should probably be pretty clear to someone if they wanted to work with us, like what we do, right? So like Alex said, there's a lot of imperfection. I will say, if you had even told me 12 months ago that we would have if we would have made some of the money that we've made, more than anything helped the amount of people we've helped, I would not have, there's a part of me that would have like been like, oh yeah, that could be possible. I would not have believed that it'd be real, and to still be working, and Alex with his family, and just the things that I think the people that we've met, like it's been just unreal. But you know, our motto is to give. Like we just give, and we get yelled at sometimes by our coaches, like you gotta ask for a sale from time to time. It's like, well, that's just not our motto, you know. Like we try to give as much as we can, and things will fall into place. But that's part of learning business.
It is.
In terms of being satisfied, or how do we feel about it? Like there's things we know we need to grow on. You know, it's like you can't just do community theater for free forever,
right?
And live off of it, right? Sometimes you got to ask for
as much as you love,
right? I just want to help,
yeah. I like that. So, what advice would you have for anyone looking to create a partnership?
That's a really good question. I think first of all, you need to find someone who shares your ultimate end goals and kind of where they want to end up. I've had other partnerships that have not been as synchronous, and in fact chose Will over other opportunities because of where he wants to end up and because of his values and ideals and what he wants to build. And that, it's kind of like marriage, right? We're going to talk about it. I'm married, and I know that my wife and I are strong because we're aiming at the same target. Will and I are aiming at the same target, and both from like what do we want right now and what do we want in the long term. And that I think plays really strongly into the success that we've had, but also just the satisfaction with our partnership.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, completely agree. I mean, we see ultimately a part of like why we want to do this is to, besides being obviously perfect, you know, business couple. We're
yep.
We did personality tests and like
work husbands.
Yes. I know work wives is such a thing now. Like there should be work husbands.
Yeah, it's a thing. Work husband.
Yeah. I have so many friends that are like, oh, my work wife and I are going to start bringing that in. Me and my work husband are doing
Oh yeah, it's a thing now. But it's on a podcast.
I guess it's official now. Can we make that Facebook official?
It's now your hashtag.
I think that one thing we're really strongly believe, or I strongly believe definitely, is that, and we've been talking about it a little bit more, is that I really think that one way to transform healthcare and not fix healthcare, because I don't think that I know the answer to that, but I think the way to transform it is to be able to give people the freedom to experiment with different models. I personally believe we need thousands of different models going on as quickly as we can to find out which ones are really making a difference in people's lives. Not just getting people pain-free, but like how are we improving people's quality of lives And I don't think we're even close to figuring out because we don't have enough people experimenting in different models. And I really believe part of it is feeling financially strapped in where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can teach you that you can create your own business coming in by leveraging the different aspects of the internet, what kind of freedom does that create to allow people to express their own creativity, experiment in new models? Like, how many people have we met here this weekend who are trying something that's just so cool, super unique that, you know, if you were in PT class, how many of your professors would be like, that's not a real thing, you can't do that. And yet people all around us are doing it because they're figuring out ways to be able to generate enough business to continue pursuing that. And while it's not stated in our mission, I think that's something that really underlies a lot of what we believe in long term, and to teach people how to do it. So it's not, hey, we're a business, come hire us and we just want to make money. It's like nothing gives us, I can say for me, nothing gives me the satisfaction of someone who's like, I didn't have to shut down my business because I knew how to bring people in to keep them coming in. I didn't have to do that. Like, to me, that is incredible. Like, and I think it's something that's just, we need to teach people how to do. Everyone should have control over what they want to be able to do in terms of helping people get better. And you can't do that if you're not financially in a position to do it.
That's true. That definitely makes sense. You know, I just realized, I just thought of something funny, but when I asked you guys, you know, what advice you would give other people, I'm shocked you didn't say, don't take Will, don't take Alex. Like, I have dibs on each other. You know, somebody saw you.
I'm not worried about that.
There's trust. It's a marriage. It's a true marriage. Yes. So what was it like meeting for the first time? Your first impression. This is your last question. I want to leave it on a really good moment. So I would like to hear you go first, sure. Will, and then you go next, because I just would love the different perspectives on this.
Yeah, it was crazy because I was sitting in the lobby of the hotel that I was staying at, and was like, you need to work on a presentation, which we still need to work on a presentation, and we present tomorrow, so we'll just kind of pretend that no one hears that. They're going to be very good. These
Imperfect action.
Imperfect action. That's the title of it. Already have the title now. So good. Next step.
And Alex texted me. He's like, "Yeah, cool. I'll be over in a little bit." And so I was like, "Great. We'll be able to sit and work on this." And then Alex comes around the corner, and I'm like, "It's Alex!" And there's like 19 people behind him, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, there's so many people!" And it was just so cool to meet. And I think the moment where you realize, like, this is no different than talking online. There's no
really change. That's so cool.
Yeah. I mean, I felt like I knew Alex. It wasn't like, hold on, we got to figure this out. It's awkward. Like, no.
It was just like seeing a friend that you haven't seen for a while. It's just like, hey, all right. It's just like instant. Yeah. I mean, so you saw it, Jenna. I brought a bunch of people with me, mostly because like I didn't care to have like this one-on-one moment with Will. It's like, no, we're good. We just wanted Will to feel like, oh man, look at how many people freaking love you because they hadn't met you yet. And it was just, it was just very familiar already. And it's just so cool that if you want to, you can create relationships with people online. I mean, people get married all the time from online, right? Like So
why couldn't it be a work relationship? Work.
In a way, it was an arranged marriage, I think, from Greg Todd.
It was
seriously,
arranged marriage.
100%. He's sitting there pulling strings, like,
Well, I'm just thinking we should create this new thing, the business weddings, business relationship weddings. I think this needs to come to fruition now.
I mean, Will and I, people were joking like, hey, we should make it so you can't see each other the entire time until you get on stage to present. It's like, that'd be pretty cool. Sure. I think it'd be pretty hard. We need to get some work done.
Yeah. We debated putting a screen between us too, and then do it through the computer still talking, but we figured it's best if we meet in person.
Yeah.
I like that.
Are you going to host these work weddings though? These like,
you know what?
Will you be able to make a really good work wedding planner?
Let's say anything is possible. Thank you so much for coming on to this podcast. Seriously, you guys, your story is so inspirational and so incredible. I'm really, really grateful for you sharing your story, your marriage, your work relationship. So thank you so much.
Thanks for Jenna.
As always, a great episode by Jenna, and thanks to Jenna, Will, and Alex for all of that information. And of course, a huge thank you to the sponsor of today's episode, Net Health. So again, they are Redoc powered by XFit, which is a cloud-based, fully integrated EMR and billing solution. Plus, you can opt in to completely outsource billing services. That's the best way to optimize revenue. So if you're a PT owner, just imagine all of your physical therapy, billing, coding, and compliance experts taking the back office work off your hands and reporting to you, which of course allows you to do the things that you want to do in your business, which is grow your practice and treat your patients. So to learn more about Redoc and the complete revenue management services, check them out at nethealth.com/healthy.
Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to the podcast at podcast.healthywealthysmart.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media.